Gemini, welcome. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your May full moon reading. I have been inspired by this lunar eclipse coming up on the 15th or 16th of May, depending on where you are. And it is supporting us with Jupiter moving into Aries just a couple of days before, few days before. This is encouraging us to make the changes to ourselves and to our environments that we have been learning about as we have gone through this deep global period of healing. So I've laid out the access cards to the 4 points of the horoscope wheel. I'll start with the 10th, but when I clarify with the African Tarot, I'll begin with the first house and work my way around the wheel. If you enjoy this reading, if you find it useful, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate all the comments and support that you give me. So let's get started, Gemini, with your overall energy, the King of Pentacles. And this is showing you to be grounded in practical and useful service to others. You have taken care of a family, of a team of employees or co-workers, of a job or organization. You have mastered these steps to manifest success, victory, and abundance in your efforts. This is the focus of your personal energy at this time, and the way that you are moving through the world to practically institute changes that will improve your usefulness and productivity in the world. In the 10th house, we have the 5 of Wands, and this is your social position. So this is showing me a picture of you managing a lot of change, implementing a lot of change in a very practical and focused way that will serve your organization, your projects, your home or family in a way that will increase abundance, stability, protection, and security, if I didn't already say that. So this is you really managing change, ushering in new practices, new techniques, new strategies to implement changes that are going to have an impact on your entire community. In the first house, we have the Star card. And the Star card is indicating your ability to cultivate a mindfulness that is hopeful, that sees a communal, a collective vision in which all members can grow and participate. So you are positive, optimistic, you are activating a vision that you have cultivated over many years, many efforts, many journeys, that is recognizing the expansive possibilities of your everyday environment. In the 4th house, your home, your unconscious, you have the Chariot card. This is where you are, because of your ability to ask for assistance, because of your ability to manage the talents of others, and to ask for the help that you need in aiming yourself towards your goals, you are moving rapidly and victoriously with tremendous focus on the outcomes that you desire. This is having an impact on the healing work that you've been doing, the efforts you've been making at really clarifying the behaviors and the thoughts that you understand now will lead to the success. You have really unleashed a powerful momentum that is helping you to move rapidly and is really going to greatly benefit by the Jupiter's entrance into Aries. and that's going to provide you with a passionate motivation to pursue your goals. In the seventh house, we have the Five of Swords. And this is indicating your ability to manage an incredible amount of new information, debate, discourse, discussion, even argument or conflict around the ways in which these changes that you are pursuing are being implemented, how they are being articulated, how they are being shared and communicated, how your network is plugging into the resources that you have called upon, solicited in order to implement these changes. So this card indicates there is a fair amount of chaos and conflict that you are now careful to manage and facilitate in a way that does not reflect your doubts or your insecurities, but rather ask for the help that's needed in order to clarify proposals that your team and you are entertaining so that you can better understand the information that's being shared, what's being proposed. So you are in a place of looking at a lot of ideas, plans, concepts, new ideas, ways to communicate these changes effectively. I'm going to clarify with the star in the first house is clarified by the Seven of Swords in the second house and the Queen of Pentacles in the third house. So we right away have a pair here of the King and the Queen of Pentacles. And this is showing me less about a partnership, and that may be a possibility or an aspect of this effort that you're making. However, this is reflecting for me your ability to reflect and understand your natural resourcefulness as a person, your ability to receive information, help, assistance, and to embody that resourcefulness within as a tool of your communication, and the ability to use those resources to serve your community, your team, your family, as you are building up your resources towards a greater prosperity. The Chariot card in the fourth house is clarified by the Six of Swords and the Five of Cups in the sixth house. So now that I'm looking at these swords, I am recognizing the tremendous amount of work that you are doing to center yourself in your heart's desire, in the goal that you have identified as practical and of the maximum service and providing the maximum stability to this organization or team on whose behalf you are working. The communication, the desire for change, and the efforts to facilitate the discussions around these changes are tapping deeply into a sense of your inability to do everything. And that is very much a feature of the Pentacle energy that really believes that the hard work of you, Gemini, as the creator, the leader, should be able to manage every aspect and do everything, at least micromanage and oversee everything, when in fact that instinct to do everything, to be in control of all details, is really more a reflection of the very sense of doubt that you are relinquishing in this tremendous healing cycle that you are in. This star is empowering your vision of a better world that recognizes your limitations, that sets clear boundaries, and allows others to do some of the work that is needed to be done, rather than that reflecting an inadequacy on your part. You are moving away from those outdated ideas of being in control and really understanding that peace comes from your ability to accept that there are many ways and many ideas that are useful in achieving your goals in community. That is part of empowering your move forward, your service to the individuals on whose behalf you work. There is nevertheless this really uncomfortable grieving that has become almost safe to you. You have been working so hard at releasing negative self-talk, negative, uh, a negative picture of your capacity or your lack of capacity, that you do have had a tendency to focus on the past failures and things that didn't work, when in fact, at this moment, the star is helping you, is pointing you in the direction of your gratitude. What you have that remains, what powers you, is your ability to connect, not just with other people, not just with profitable ideas, but with your own higher self, your own better capacity that understands that mastery or leadership has very little to do with control. It has to do with clarity and the ability to recognize that connection comes from a firm sense of self-knowledge. In the seventh house, you have the Five of Swords clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So another king. Also, the Four of Pentacles has been coming up for a lot of people as some of the sword cards. And in this case, I really sense this to be a almost physical retreat, a natural cautiousness or a tendency to hold on to what you have, to not play all your cards or to not relinquish those things that you feel are lending to your sense of groundedness and foundation as you work to maximize the resources that you share with others. The King of Wands in the ninth house is indicating not only are you a leader in terms of building up practical and useful tools, but you are desirous of a creative change, a creative expansion. And to that end, you are mastering the ability to communicate what lies underneath your ability to build, to grow something. And that is this desire for, this passionate desire to be expansive, to share, to lead others, to motivate others to the kind of fulfillment that you know is possible. This also has you desiring to distribute the products or the services that you work within more broadly, more globally, publishing information about what you do, traveling to other locations, communicating with other like businesses or communities. The 10th house with the Five of Wands is clarified by the Sun in the 11th house and the Eight of Cups in the 12th house. I see you really able to pinpoint and understand where your happiness comes at this point in your life. Regardless of relationship status, you have looked and reviewed your past heartaches, disappointments, letdowns, so that that focus upon the naturally necessary grieving of loss and heartbreak is something that has really deeply connected you to your own joy as you turn to the gratitude for not only what you have remaining, your ability to connect, but for who you are. And this is really key as your work, your efforts are taking you into more far flung and more diverse communities. You are increasingly grounding yourself in the person that you are and who you naturally are, Gemini. And this is such a beautiful liberation that you are working very hard towards because it is an ongoing process. As you work through this effort that you are involved in, that you are leading, you are also recognizing that you have outgrown some aspects of your environment. You've outgrown some relationships, some alliances, and also some behaviors and patterns of action or thought that are no longer serving you. Although you've invested a lot into your current projects, maybe your domestic environment, this can even be family members, even an old concept of where you should be and who you should be with are changing. You no longer feel fulfilled in these situations, and you are making a deep emotional decision to move on, to find meaning elsewhere. This is deeply emotional. This is not a sense of failure in and of itself, but you recognize that you must abandon this particular current emotional environment, this current narrative of your emotional life, so that you can indeed move on to experience, continue to experience the happiness that you are now finding within yourself, within your being, with full confidence in your resources, the resources that you have. I'm going to finish off this reading, Gemini, with an oracle card from the language of flowers and the crystal oracle. I haven't done this one in a while. I am hoping that you've enjoyed this reading and that you are liking and subscribing to my channel. And I've chosen the blue bell. And the blue bell keyword is gratitude. Be thankful for what is good now. I'm going to leave it right here, Gemini, and thank you for your time and attention. And until next time, Namaste.